Right. Now I'll just give you my own finality as to my questions to myself. How does a person end up in this situation who hasn't been the aggressor? Who hasn't been threatening or intimidating or bullying or abusing or stalking or harassing or criminally harassing anyone? Because those in positions of power think that they can bully and abuse and threaten and intimidate their victims and then go, it's not me, it's him. You know, like sometimes you'll react verbally and you'll tell them to go fuck themselves and all the rest of it. And you'll be pretty stern when you do it. But you're not confrontational, you're not, but this is where you end up anyway. It's like no matter how many times you try to do the right thing. Literally, this is about holding the victim criminally to blackmail and ransom and never answering the questions that need to be answered for the actions that you have taken against your victim. So you're literally always placed on the back foot, even when you're not reacting. You're still being accused, you're still being labelled, you're still being slandered, you're still being singled out, you're still being isolated, you're still being alienated. And they're using all the departments to continue this criminal abuse and aggressive, threatening, intimidating behaviours because they only need you to react violently once. And they only need you to, it's like the more antagonism, the more torment, the more torture, the more abuse, the more stalking, the more criminal harassment, the more prone you become to react, the more angry you become. This is not a 5-minute fucking thing to get me to here. This is 20 fucking years. 20 years of being isolated, alienated, singled out, and these people literally being the criminal bullies and abusers and serial violators and rapists and kidnappers that they fucking are. So it always plays on my mind that these people lay a foundation of trying to entrap you. And this is where New Zealand is the biggest corrupt country in the world. You know, it's like statements like Gerard McGreevy will go to his grave proclaiming his innocence, expecting you to respond with, I'll put him there, you know. But you go, well, I wish the fuck I'd hurry up, you know, and I wouldn't lose any fucking sleep over it. I'd probably piss in his fucking grave, actually. Now then again, I wouldn't want him to come back to life again. You know, piss kind of magical fucking things. So I probably wouldn't piss in his grave. I'd probably just fucking get a cesspool and dump that on top of his grave, because he's nothing but the biggest heap of shit you'd never come across. Yeah, I'm just I've reached the end of my road, people. It's like this guy has gotten away with murder because there's not one medical professional with one fucking ounce of morality. The only one who had any morality, the only one who told McGreevy to go fuck himself was Dr. Bert Roach, and he alleged to commit suicide. When you don't have a brain injury, you don't have a mental illness, and you haven't threatened anybody, and the aggressor is using their position and power and the powers that they have to drive you down this path, there's no civility in it. It's criminal intent from start to finish. And it's literally taking complete control of a victim's life. It's kidnapping. And it's literally holding the victim criminally to blackmail and ransom. You're their prisoner, you're their hostage and their captive. You know, they're your bread and butter when you're injured. And the longer they can keep you injured and make you injured, then the more money they're going to make and the less you're going to make and the less life you're going to fucking have. They're not running rehabilitation. They never were in my case. And God knows why. You end up with a dispute because someone criminally compromised you, because someone didn't put a nerve block in your fucking arm, and then your whole nervous system ends up in oversensitized and almost killing you. And then they discover then that they didn't discover that I had a trapped spinal cord. Like, it took them 10 fucking years to work that one out. You know what I mean? I could hardly walk. Um, you can actually see me even when I'm walking today. It's like your hips are out all the time. And when you're sitting down, it's like you're sitting right on top of your spinal cord. So try that and see how much pain's from that. That's why I do a lot of pacing and walking up and down all the time. And yeah, it's they can't fix it. If they fix it, then literally they've told me I'll end up in a fucking wheelchair and paralysed down one side or paralysed from the waist down. So it's not really a fun situation to be in, but nobody's doing anything about it. And so these people get to carry out all their crimes and then literally try and turn their crimes into civil matters, while these criminals who terrorise your fucking life walk free. And that's the part that really makes me sick. The government literally doing nothing, and this organisation getting away with the fucking crimes that it commits. And the lawyers that run it are nothing but fucking terrorists. They're mafia, they're organised criminals. They're carrying out racketeering on behalf of the government. The New Zealand justice system is not a justice system. It's an organised crime, mafia-run system. And those crimes need to be addressed. And the United Nations needs to do something about New Zealand and its lack of rule of law, its lack of protection, its lack of human rights, its lack of adhering to its own laws, legislation, policies, procedures and protocols. Its ombudsman's office needs to be done away with because you couldn't fucking trust any of them. The legislation under the Ombudsman's Acts is all there to cover up all the crimes on behalf of those in power. It's not there to protect society, it's not there to help anybody. It helps the odd person, but not to the extent that they probably should be. In most cases they just make little deals or something like that. But the Ombudsman's office as a whole, the legislation is an absolute travesty of justice for the victims who have to go through. And because they're as corrupt as the day is long. Yeah, what can you say? Gangsters, no gang would get a look in when it comes to ACC Crown and government. No mafia would get a look in either. And why society believes the shite that these people spin them is beyond me. But there's another issue. Cabinet ministers, they used to write to me and say, cabinet ministers can't get involved in individual cases. So why the fuck did Ruth Dyson call for a secret meeting in Parliament on the 20th of June 2007 with all the heads of all her fucked up departments, her lynch mob, and then cover it up and withhold the evidence of it? They can't get involved in individual cases. And the Ombudsman was present, the police, ACC, Crown Law Office, the Ministry of Justice, the Ministry of Health. They had all the departments covered, even their own medical expert, whose name they will not divulge. So it's almighty fucking interesting, isn't it? How these terrorists work. Anyway, I'm going to stop it there because my next fucking. I'm starting to get the rodeo on me again. Alright, gotta go. See you.